We are live.
Thank you. Meeting is called to order. First speaker is Leonard Clark. Leonard Clark.
Hello, my name is Leonard Clark, and I would like to thank the council for letting me speak today as a citizen of Phoenix. I've been a resident of Phoenix for all of my 50 years, except for a few years away working for Uncle Sam. What I would like to say is I am greatly concerned as a citizen of Phoenix that what is happening with dark money today in our elections within the city of Phoenix, I believe is not a good thing. I would like to ask all of the candidates who are running in the city council, and including the mayor himself, due to the recent finding by Citizens United and the Supreme Court of the United States stating that not-for-profit organizations could be founded and money could be donated to advocate for political candidates, but the donors would not have to be named. I ask you, the candidates that are running for the City of Phoenix Council and the mayor, to come out and state that if an adversary runs a dark money campaign against you, that you will not respond to that dark money campaign with your own dark money campaign. And if you see somebody, an organization that is running their own dark money campaign and they're doing it in your favor, you would ask them to stop. I think that that is necessary because politicians, and I believe you are very accountable. You let me speak here, and a lot of times it's not very critical. But the problem is, you know, in the Army we had a saying, "In God we trust, all others sign here." And the problem is, the accountability is gone when I don't know, when our fellow citizens of Phoenix don't know, who is contributing money to your campaigns indirectly via the new Citizens United finding. Now, you can say, Leonard, that's the Supreme Court's fault. We can't do anything about it. But you can do something about it. And I ask both sides, whether you're on the left and the right, to please reject that. In addition, I would ask that you call on the governor, because today a budget's going on, and we are the largest city in the state of Arizona. There are drastic cuts being made to our community colleges. Will receive no money. The universities are to have great cutbacks, and our K through 12 students, our children, nothing's coming out except that there's going to be drastic cutbacks, and they're about ready to sign that. I would ask that you officially, because they do it at the legislature all the time, to the federal government, have a resolution stating, please, Governor Ducey, do not enact these outrageous cuts to our public education while you're funding prisons. Thank you very much for letting me speak.
Thank you very much. Next speaker is John Rusnak.
My name is John Rusnak. I live at 2930 East Turney Avenue. About 3 weeks ago, I got a letter from Neighborhood Services that said they were going to come down and check the back set from my outbuildings and check a slat that was loose in my fence and some weeds that were grass or vegetation that was over 6 inches. Well, on June 23rd, 2005, Judy Wallace was an inspector from Neighborhood Services, and I helped her measure the distance from the fence to the outbuildings. On June 24, 2008, the city sent down a survey crew to survey all the corners on my house, my outbuildings, and everything came out fine. On February 26, 2015, Andreezy from Neighborhood Services and a lady, Bettina, from Neighborhood Services came down to measure my outbuildings. Well, I don't know where they thought how those outbuildings were going to move, but it kind of seems like to me Neighborhood Services don't know what's going on. They should have this in here. Or they could have saved a trip down there if they'd looked at an aerial photograph and done a little calculation. They'd have known that those back sets are 100% over the 3 foot. So they're 6 foot from the fence. So that's the thing that I'm saying. Why are they picking on me over all this time? Then Andreezy told me, he says, they're going to do something with that driveway next door soon, but you're not going to like what they do. And the owner hollered over the fence at me and said they're going to do something with that driveway. So what I did is tabulate. I've got all the information on what should have been done on that driveway. And in fact, there's some pictures in here, so it would be like looking at the funnies. You know, very easy, simple, that they can look and follow through. This was from 2005 when I first got one of these, up until 2013 when they made a different format. But everything is the same except they added an additive that you had to put on a driveway called Murloc, which is a kind of an adhesive. So I would like Chris to pass these out to everybody. Very easy reading. Might take a few minutes, but it will tell you what was supposed to have been done on that driveway in the beginning that wasn't done. And I wish that somebody or some of you up here would kind of send me a little note or something and tell me at the next meeting that they read all this information that I gave them. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Pat Vint.
Yes, I am Pat Vint, but I don't think anybody here knows it because I never get any feedback. But I have 8 copies here of a letter that I wrote, 2 pages in capital letters, to the Attorney General's office. And when we walked in there on the 25th, there's 8 of them there now, so I had 15 when I come, but I've been giving them out. So I would like to have you make 14,000 copies and give one to each city employee. If you won't do that, at least giving them to the department heads so they have some idea what a nasty job they're doing. You know, you come down here every week, it does no good. I took an oath, and I'm telling all the police department here, and they already know it, and I thank them so much for protecting me because I know there's somebody here that wants to get rid of me, and if they do, I've already told my lawyers. And I say lawyers because a lawyer will do what the law says. And the attorneys general, the attorney generals, I don't know how many we have, but the first thing we walked in there, we can't do anything about that. We can't do anything about that. I said, I tell you what, we're not leaving here until I get a letter from you telling me that. So I got a short paragraph about that long, telling us what they probably are going to do, and I'm putting the pressure on them. They don't know what pressure is. I took an oath, and you hear all these people come through here, and you've all taken an oath to defend our nation from all enemies, foreign and domestic. The biggest enemies we have now are all domestic. And they're usually mayors and councils, city managers, attorney generals, the undesirable that we have in Washington. Race relations have never been so bad. They hate white people. How can they complain when the President of the United States is black, the Attorney General is black, and then they appointed that crazy nut we got for attorney, or what the hell, or John Kerry, I think is his name. What an idiot. He would kiss Obama's fanny every time he turned over if he had half a chance. But I'm saying this because I hope that you're listening. No. What in the hell is wrong with that? Who turned that off? Who turned that off? I want to know. And also from those letters that I handed out, I am requesting right here, and I have a right to request that. I want to answer back from every one of you, 11 of you. That's the mayor, the council, the city manager, and the city attorney.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your testimony very much. Shia Levine is the next speaker. Miss Levine, thank you for being here. And then you have up to 3 minutes. And then we have a few more speakers. If we can't get to all the speakers, obviously at the end of our meeting, we do have additional time for citizen comment and requests. Ms. Levine, good to see you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Shia, and I've enjoyed being a resident of Arizona for the past couple of years. I teach yoga. I'm also a musician. I've also had the opportunity to live in several cities over the past few years: Miami, Boston, New York, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Phoenix. And I've noticed there's an unusual predominance of people who are practicing the art of tailgating all throughout America. I'm wondering if we can please put a sprinkling of more police vehicles out on our roadways and highways, police vehicles that are ready to pounce on people who are practicing the art of tailgating. I'm wondering if you can please specifically ask those persons who are in charge of these things to do so ASAP. It seems as though the moment police see a police vehicle on the roadways and highways, they act on their best behavior immediately. I'm also wondering if you could also please create hefty fines, perhaps $200 to $300 per violation, for anyone who is seen tailgating. It seems this would be an additional way to obliterate this experience. Tailgating already appears to be illegal, so I'm wondering why it's not being enforced. It is happening every day by a plethora of people all throughout America. Ironically, many of the times, tailgaters who jump onto some car's backside usually have the option of hopping into several other lanes and go around the car they've chosen to cling to. Tailgaters are creating a dangerous situation for all of us in that it is far, far too easy for the driver in front of the tailgaters to need to slow down quickly and for the person behind to plow right in. And then to make matters worse, sometimes when tailgating happens, the tailgaters will speed up alongside of you and almost dig their car into the side of your car so as to teach you a lesson. In reality, it is they who need to be taught a lesson, and it is they who are in need of owing an apology for trying to exacerbate and frighten whomever they are trying to dig into. Perhaps if they are so confident, maybe they should start appealing to lawmakers to increase the speed limit so that they get to travel as fast as they want, yet there still is never a viable excuse for trying to dig your car into the car of another who is making an effort to drive the actual speed limit. I sometimes think of adopting a child in the next few years, and I hugely hesitate to proceed with the idea of adoption in that I feel that the roadways and highways are highly unsafe because of this one foolish factor that for some mysterious reason is being allowed to exist and exists for years and years. Once again, can you please put a sprinkling of more police vehicles out on our roadways and highways? And can you please create a hefty $200 to $300 fine for anyone who is seen tailgating in this great city? Maybe somehow Phoenix can be a leader in how to practice the art of driving a little more safely, and magically the rest of the country will follow along. Thank you so very much for your time.
Thank you very much for taking the time to come down here and your well-prepared testimony, and we'll pass that request on to our city manager, and I'll go through our legal department to see if we can look at that request. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
So we will take a short break, about a 2-minute break now before starting our formal meeting. There are additional cards that will have the opportunity to comment during citizens' requests at the end of today's meeting. So a short 2-minute break, and then we'll get started with today's formal meeting.